Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future. Create Your Future is giving away a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. The information is in the link below. Also, I have courses that are on sale right now, and all of my coaching has been on sale for quite a while. However, all of that is going to change soon. So now is the perfect time to purchase a course and or book a session with me while the sale prices are still in effect. Today, we are going to talk about life is easy, life is joyful when you operate from the place of your power. And where does that power come from? It comes from understanding the law of assumption. It comes from understanding quantum physics. It comes from understanding the truth of who you are versus the contradictory world that you have been taught to believe in, and that is that you're powerless, that you need something outside of yourself to save you and bring into your life the things that your heart is desiring. And that's living under the system, or what people call often the matrix. You're not a powerless person. You're not a victim. And you are not destined to live in a state of lack. You are total and complete abundance. You are powerful, and you are the savior of your reality through your thoughts and your perceptions, your assumptions, and the persistence in the things that your heart desires. So let's talk about how to do all of that and how to make this the journey of your life, to learn how to move out of the system or the matrix into the truth of who you truly, truly are. We have been taught by our parents and our extended families, the politicians, our pastors, people in leadership, every TV, books, music. Everything around us is always centering on the victim. Sad songs of losing love and books of tragedy, and telling us through that we are not worthy to excel into the things that our hearts desire without something outside of us coming in and saving us and taking care of us and protecting us. But we are that power. Our imagination is God in us, and we need to use that in order to move from the matrix, move from that system of negative thinking into the positive truth of who you really are. And that's a very powerful, infinite being that does have the power to save yourself through your thoughts, your assumptions, your perceptions, your belief systems. And that should be it should be the journey of your life, the quest of your life, to move from the victim lack mentality into the joy of knowing I have the power to be, have, and do anything my heart's desiring on my own. Through the law of assumption, you can achieve that. You can have all the money you want. It's there. It's already there. Everything is already created. Creation is finished. It's a matter of placing your focus on that. You can be in the loving relationship of your heart's desire easily and effortlessly. You can lose that extra 10, 15 pounds if you choose. You can change body parts. You can bring perfect healing and wellness into your life. You can be healed of whatever is going on inside of you. And it can be done so easily, except we are trained to think it's not. It can be a snap, but we're trained to think it's not. But how do we overcome that? We retrain our brain. We take this old program that is limiting and not working in our best interest, and we replace that program with the program that says, I am limitless. I am the power of my reality, and that I can be and do anything that my heart desires through my thoughts, my perceptions, my belief systems, and that through persistence. And we need to live from that state of consciousness. It's a matter of moving from one state of consciousness, I am whatever I am conscious of being. We're going to move from a state of consciousness that's limiting and telling us that we are not worth worthy or valuable, and that we're victims, and that we're dependent on something outside of ourselves to bring in healing, to bring in wholeness, to bring in the love that we want, to bring anything into our lives. However, that's not true. The truth is, you have that power already in you, and it already exists because creation is finished. It's just a matter of changing your perspective and then focusing totally on what you want, knowing that you have the power for that to come into your life. And the more you work on it, the more you practice it, the more repetition, the more of a concerted effort you give it, the more quickly it comes in, and the easier it becomes. Life is easy. Life is joyful. And I use the word is on purpose. Life is easy. It's not, it can be easy. It can be joyful. It is. And we need to move from the mindset that says it only can be maybe to the mindset that says it is already joyful. It is already easy. I am already wealthy in the way that I choose to be. I am already in a loving, beautiful, blissful relationship. I am already weighing my ideal weight. I am already living in perfect health and healing. I am already perfect health. And you do that and apply that to everything, because the law of assumption simply states that I am whatever I am conscious of being. So if you are conscious of being I am versus I am not, you're going to get I am, because that's where you're placing your most dominant thought. I am wealthy. That has to become your most dominant thought. You go to the store, you look at your bills and you say, I am in lack. You feel the lack. This is too expensive. I can't afford this. Change your thinking, change your concept. Yes, that's the reality from a reflection of your past thoughts. But the truth is, you already have that money. You just have not given it your full attention repeatedly, consistently. So you spend the money that you think you don't have enough of, but you're saying, money, I always have more than enough money to cover all of my expenses. I am wealthy. Moving into a relationship, instead of sitting around feeling longing and hurting and wanting and focusing on what's going on in your current 3D reality, which is, as you know, a reflection of your past thoughts. It's not real right now. It is just a reflection, an echo of thoughts you had before. So you can ignore it and let it go and focus. Really focus and concentrate on what you do want right now in this moment, because that's the only time you have. The universe does not recognize past or future. It only exists in the now. So right now you have what your heart desires. You get to make that choice. That's the only free will you have, to either choose to have or to not have. You get to choose. That's your free will. And no one else in your own quantum bubble reality has any free will. Only you do, because this is your consciousness. Everything and everyone must conform to your thoughts, your state of consciousness. If you're living from a state of consciousness that says, I don't have something, I am in lack, I'm the victim, then that's what has to show up, because it must conform. But if you change that and replace that with, I have my relationship, I have the money, I have perfect health, and you live from that state of consciousness, everything and everyone must conform to that new state of consciousness. And when you live consistently and persistently in that state of consciousness, your life changes, and then it does become easy and it does become joyful. An example is I had a situation where someone wanted me to do something for them, someone that I love and care for and want to be there for and support, someone so dear to my heart, but I felt in my gut that it was not the right choice, and for either of us. So what did I do? Well, first I stressed, but not for long, because I knew the law of assumption, and I immediately said, Aletha, here's what you do. I didn't want to be the person to have to tell the person no. So what did I decide? I decided I'm going to have that person change their mind, so I don't have to say no to something that I know is good for both of us, in the best interest for both of us, for me to say no. But I didn't want to be that, I didn't want to do that. So I decided the person was going to change their mind and let me know that they changed their mind. So I just, for 4 or 5 seconds, I created a little imaginal scene where somebody was telling me the person changed their mind, where that person came up with another solution, they changed their mind, and everything was okay. So that's exactly what happened. And the next night, I was with some family and friends, and I brought up the subject because it was appropriate to do at that moment, and immediately someone started to speak over me and say, oh my gosh, that's all changed. They changed their mind. I was doing jumping jacks inside. They changed their mind, exactly what I imagined they would do. And they came up with this solution. And I knew in my heart that was the best solution for both of us. And that's exactly what I had envisioned in my mind. My thoughts went from not having the answer and from the lack and the fear and the anxiousness of having to tell somebody that I loved no, to having that person come to me and tell me no. Instead, I got something else that I think is going to be better for both of us, and that's exactly what they did. So all you have to do is use the power that's in you. You've been taught you don't have power in you, but that's not the truth. That's living in a matrix. That's living in the matrix, the system. But the system doesn't have your best interest in mind. Power in you has always been there. It's always been there. Live from your power. Use the law of assumption techniques, the tools, the methods. It's changing your thoughts from not having to having. I simply just decided what I wanted. I chose what I wanted. I made a decision, and then I visualized that, and then it manifested the very next day. So, of course, I felt great relief. So you do not have to live in any situation unless you choose to. We choose to go along with it because we think we have no other option. That's not truth. You have the truth. I could give you story after story after story of how in my own life and in the life of my clients, where through my thoughts and through their thoughts, they altered the situations in their life to be what they wanted them to be versus the not being what they wanted. And so you want an SP, you want a special person in your life, your specific person, that's fine. They have to conform to you. That's the power you have. But you must be persistent and stop looking at the 3D. You need to turn your back on it. You need to let it go and not react to it. And when you see something in your 3D, remind yourself of 2 things. Number 1, it's a reflection of my past thoughts. It's not real. Number 2, in this moment, I'm going to live only from what I know is the truth of my desire, of my who I am, what I want. So if you see something in your 3D that you don't like, instead of reacting to it, remember that it is a reflection of your past thought, and I can change it right now. In this moment, I will live from having whatever it is that my heart's desiring, having that SP in my life, no matter what's going on in my current 3D reality, no matter what they may have said, or no matter what you've just seen or experienced. The truth is, whatever it is your heart's desiring, and it does exist already, but you have to give it your attention. You have to give it your focus. You have to live from that state of consciousness, because I am whatever I am conscious of being, meaning whatever I'm conscious of being is going to show up in my 3D reality. I've got to stop being conscious of being the old things, the negative things, the hurtful things, and become conscious, replace that with the new consciousness that says I have everything I want, anytime I want, easily, effortlessly. It's mine. And you have to live powerfully from that state of consciousness so that nothing in the 3D ruffles your feathers. Nothing in the 3D causes you to spiral. You have to decide in the moment. That's your free will. What am I going to think? Am I going to allow these thoughts, these negative thoughts that are coming to me and what I just saw and what I'm feeling emotionally to dominate me? Or am I going to shift into what I know is my heart's desire and that what I want and live from that? Am I going to shift into having versus not having? And when you make that choice in the moment and you shift into having, no matter how difficult it may be, force yourself. It's a concerted effort. You have to make a choice and then live by that choice. And how do you live by that choice? By your thoughts. What are you thinking? By your assumptions. What are you assuming? What meaning are you giving to things? Nothing in this universe comes to you with a built-in meaning. Everything is meaningless until you apply the meaning. What meaning are you going to give those situations? The meaning is, it's a reflection of my past thought, and I don't care. I'm indifferent to it because this is the truth. In this moment, I am with my SP. In this moment, they're sitting right beside me. In this moment, I have perfect health. In this moment, I have way more money than I need for everything in my life. In this moment, I am, I have, it is. And you live from that state of consciousness, applying it to whatever your circumstances are, whatever your heart's desire is. That's what you're living from, your heart's desire. That's your state of consciousness. And if you persist in it, it does show up in your reality. It has to. It's projected out and then reflected back. That's the way the universe works. So you have to literally move out of the old programming that says I'm a victim, says I'm powerless, says lack is something that I need to deal with and it is mine and I don't know how to get out of it, and move out of the them and us and they got this and I don't. Move out of all of that negative thinking into knowing I am this, I have this because I am that powerful. So the journey of your life should be to choose your way back to your true power, away from everything that's told you're powerless, and moving away from the ego mind, which is over here saying I'm powerless and I'm a victim and I'm full of lack and I can't have, and whatever else it's saying. Move out of the ego mind and into your heart, back into your heart, into the truth of who you are, your heart. The logical mind is going to tell you all the reasons why something isn't going to work or happen. And it's going to tell you why you can't be healed. I've been healed of so many things, so much pain and disability in many, many ways over many, many years. Now I'm bending over in the grocery store picking up something for someone who couldn't bend over because there was so much pain in their back. And I had no pain whatsoever. But I understood their condition. I was there once. But I didn't have to stay there. And I knew that. And I persisted in it. And did it take a while? Yes. But did I give up? No. And am I rejoicing today and living joyfully, physically, without that limitation? Absolutely. And you can too. But it takes a concerted effort. And it takes a will to override the ego mind. And that's a constant job sometimes. And then it gets easier and easier and easier as you do it. And then you maintain it by, I have perfect health. You just keep telling yourself, I have perfect health. You live in that state of consciousness, and you can apply that to specific people. You can apply that to money, careers, every single thing in life. I applied it to the person who wanted me to do some things that I didn't feel were appropriate for either of us. It wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing, but it wasn't in my heart. I didn't feel it was the right thing. What? I gave the meaning. I gave it that meaning. I made that choice. And then I imagined that they changed their mind, and they did. So that's all you need to do is apply the laws of the law of assumption to your life. You use your imagination. That's your power. That's God in you. Your imagination. Imagine your world being the way you want it to be. Not the way it currently is if you're unhappy with it, but the way you want it to be. Live from that in your mind. You'll have a mental picture of looking the way you want to look, feeling the way you want to look, having the wealth you want to have, being with the people you want to be with. You have that mental picture, mental image in your mind, and you live from that, and you have that mental diet that I am that person. and you consistently do that and loop that over and over, do it before you fall asleep at night, go to sleep, I am whatever it is you want. Wake up in the morning, and when sometimes, I'll feel so sad in the morning, and I don't know why, but what do I do immediately? I jump into, I am this, I have this, it is in my life. I stay in the state of consciousness that I choose to experience. And it's a concerted effort, but it's worth it. Everything worth anything takes work, takes devotion, takes dedication. It's a concerted effort. You can do this. You can have and be and do anything your heart desires through the law of assumption, through your assumptions, your thoughts, your perceptions, and the state of consciousness that you, and only you can do this, choose to live from. You live from having, or you live from the lack. You stay focused on the 3D, or you stay focused on the vision of your heart, and you live internally, having what it is your heart's desiring, knowing that it's going to show up in your 3D reality very soon. And when it does, you will have experienced the reflection of your past thoughts. Only these thoughts are thoughts that bring life to you, joy, happiness, the person you want to be with, money, whatever it is. So we're going to move from the old system into the new. The only way to do that is to replace the old programming with the new programming, and you live from there. You consciously live from there. Become that conscious selector. Select only the things in your life to think about, to feel, to experience internally that you choose to experience externally. And your life will change according to your thoughts.